Have you ever watched a documentary and wondered what changed the filmmaker? Today, I have Kerry from HomesteadHow YouTube channel sharing 5 valuable lessons he didn't expect while filming the wonderful, soon to be released Healing Humanity documentary, the kind that probably rewired how he thought, lived, and his thoughts on healing. But if you're new to my channel, I'm Dr. Tony Hampton, a board certified family and obesity medicine doctor. And I don't focus on just simple things like just what you eat. I focus on your brain, how you think. I focus on you changing your environment. And that's why I wanted you to meet Kerry. So Kerry, thank you for coming to the video. And I really appreciate you taking a moment to answer these questions.
Absolutely, Dr. Hampton. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be on here with you.
All right. So what we're going to do today, guys, is let Kerry share 5 lessons he actually learned from filming the documentary. We're so excited about it. And Kerry, I know you probably have more than 5, but let's do a top 5 and see how that goes.
Absolutely. I love these questions too, because I went into this documentary with expectations and then everything just completely changed. So the first big lesson that I learned filming the documentary was about heart health. I believe my entire life that eating fatty meat is going to clog my arteries. I'm going to have a heart attack. I had congestive heart failure, an irregular heartbeat, all sorts of heart issues. And when we interviewed Dr. Philip Ovadia, and he explained to me that heart disease is often caused from insulin resistance and inflammation. And I'm like, I was chronically inflamed for years and years and decades from the foods I was eating. And then I started thinking about it more. I'm like, sadly, I've lost a lot of loved ones to heart disease. None of them were eating a carnivore diet. They were all eating like I used to eat. They were eating the standard American diet. So that was really eye-opening for me. And then I learned from some other individuals and doctors and experts that there are many other indicators for the likelihood of having heart disease far beyond our LDL cholesterol, like insulin resistance, inflammation, being type 2 diabetic. There's like 11 things on the list above LDL, but we're solely focused on LDL. So that was one big thing I've learned. And then just personally, while filming the documentary, I've had my heart tested several times, and my heart health has completely changed eating carnivore. My lifelong irregular heartbeat reversed. My congestive heart failure is gone. My doctor wrote in my records, I no longer have evidence of cardiomyopathy. It's just been completely healing for me. And that was my biggest fear going into carnivore. Can't eat meat. I'm going to clog my arteries. I have congestive heart failure. So that was a big one. Another lesson I learned on this journey was there are still great doctors out there. And you're one of them. I'm not saying that to flatter Dr. Hampton. I really believe we need to uplift the voices of good doctors doing good work and treating the root cause. But going into the documentary, I didn't like doctors, if I'm being honest. I went decades of seeing doctors and getting put on more and more medication and getting sicker and sicker. And the reason for all of that was we weren't treating the root cause of the problem. And that was my metabolic health. And that was a big lesson I learned on this journey. And we've got 9 doctors and experts in the documentary, and all of them are focused on treating the root cause, and they're actually healing people. And Dr. Hampton, you were the first one we filmed for the documentary, and you set the bar high. It was incredible. I remember you saying like how many patients you're getting off their medication, deprescribing medication. And that was just incredible, amazing to me. The world needs more doctors like that. So getting your voice out and the voice of other doctors and realizing there's still good doctors out there. And I just want to say too, I believe most doctors are good doctors. They've just been led down a wrong path, and they don't know the right way anymore, and they've got these constraints they're working with. But they're going to see the example of Dr. Tony Hampton. They're going to want to do better. I know that. The other thing I learned on this journey was people are desperate to tell their stories. I went into this like, people are like, oh, Kerry, this is so great. You're doing the documentary. And I've never filmed a documentary before. This is new to me. It has taken on legs of its own. It's just like, these stories are yearning to be told. Many of these people were misdiagnosed or dismissed or ignored for years, and they want to tell the stories, but it's not out of a selfish thing. Like, I deserve to have my story told. They want to tell these stories because they've experienced incredible healing that they want their fellow humans, men, women, to experience as well. It's been overwhelming how powerful that is, whether it's at meetups or just putting the camera in front of someone. And I ask a couple questions and they just go tell their story. So that's been an incredible part of it. The fourth thing, I think that was, so at heart health, there's still great doctors out there. People are desperate to tell their stories. The fourth thing that I learned is, I learned this from you as well, but not initially. We've interviewed 9 doctors for our documentary, and 41 individuals. Of the doctors, though, I realized when I interviewed you, Dr. Hampton, you were so passionate and so fired up about kind of one thing if we distill it all down. I remember when I first interviewed you on my YouTube channel, we were talking about type 2 diabetes. And you were so passionate about reversing type 2 diabetes by fixing your metabolic health. Then I interviewed Dr. Ovadia about heart disease. He's so passionate about heart disease, but it's the same thing. He's just talking about fixing your metabolic health.
That's
And
right.
then I was so honored to have Dr. Georgia Eid in the documentary. That's a big part of our documentary is mental health. That was a huge part of my journey. Same thing again for mental health. It's not a chemical imbalance in the brain. It's fixing your metabolic health. So that was a huge lesson I learned. It's like, you're so passionate about this for one reason, but you fix your metabolic health. You fix everything. You fix all of those other things, which takes me to my fifth and final lesson, which kind of encompasses a little bit of the last one, some of the others. But carnivore, I went into carnivore initially hoping for some healing, but I was overweight, I was obese, I was fatigued, I was tired all the time. And I was looking at this like carnivore diet, weight loss regimen. This is something we can do. It's effective. Like I did keto for years. This is stricter keto. So I'm going to be able to drop some vanity pounds. And that was wrong. Yes, I'm down 100 pounds since my heaviest, but carnivore is not a weight loss diet. That was the biggest lesson I learned doing this documentary. When you fix your metabolic health, you will heal your body. Your weight is going to go down to whatever it's naturally intended to as a side effect of that as you heal everything else. Carnivore is like the ultimate healing. You fix your metabolic health, you fix all those things we talked about. Your weight will just go to wherever it should be because of that. Sadly, I talk to a lot of people now. It's one of the only frustrations I have. I've seen so much healing on this, friends and family that you want to help, right? And they're like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to drop any weight.
Right.
It's so much deeper than that. There's nothing to do with weight. So yeah, those were the 5 big lessons I've learned when filming this documentary that just been a huge blessing to me because none of these I expected. I just thought we go on, we talked to some people, they lost some weight, they healed a couple things, that was it. But I've learned so much more along this journey for sure.
Yeah, and it's golden to hear your comments. And I see that you said heart health number 1. And yes, everybody should get an insulin level. Everybody should get a heart scan. Very affordable test, yet the information is so much more valuable than the standard cholesterol, total cholesterol, and LDL. And yes, there are good doctors out there, and I think we have to respectfully acknowledge that they exist, and that the doctors who don't understand this, they just haven't heard it. And our job is to have a voice so they'll hear it. People excited to tell their story. And that's why it's not always hard to get a podcast guest on either of our channels, because people want to get this information out. And yes, we're all passionate about fixing metabolic health because it will put into remission and reverse 70% of all health conditions. So if you talk to a specialist, they'll talk about their specialty, but it's really something that helps everybody. And lastly, it's not just about weight loss, and that kind of speaks to what we just said. So I really feel that if we change ourselves, then we'll change our metabolic health. And I really appreciate you sharing that top 5, because so many people will need to hear those stories. And that's why I'm going to make sure to have a link for those who want to support the documentary. We're going to continue to do that because there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes to make sure that helps. And also do me a favor, guys, if you're watching this on my channel, go to Kerry's channel, because there's going to be a part 2 where we talk about what I think are the 5 surprising benefits of carnivore that kind of surprised me. And one that's going to really surprise you is how I look at the A1C and how that actually may go up, but may actually still be a good thing. So check that out. Make sure you subscribe to both channels, and we'll continue to collaborate and spread this healing message. Kerry, thanks again for coming to this short video. And for those who are checking us out, let's continue to heal and spread this message throughout the world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Hampton.